Hello and welcome you all for next topic on design of experiments. In this video lecture we'll see another type of design of experiment, full factorial design. Now as the name says, full factorial design, we'll be considering the factorial combinations. The experimental design is of factorial combinations and full version of that will be selecting. There is one more type called as fractional factorial design, which is a fraction of this particular design. So it may be half, one third, one fourth, 1/16, 1/8, like that for the factorial. So here we are taking all possible factorial combinations of experimental combinations. Here you are not going to distinguish between the factors like nuisance factor and primary factor. In previous all other designs we had one primary factor, all other factors they were causing the possible errors, so you used to call it as nuisance factor. Now here we are not going to distinguish, the factor as nuisance factor and primary factor. All are factors, there is no primary and nuisance, all are factors. Now when you consider a given number of factors, here the advantage of is that you can have n number of factors. You may have 10 factors, 15 factors, any number of factors you can have, and each factor can have its own level. Here in this particular video lecture we are going to concentrate only on two level factorial design. Two level in the sense each factor is having two levels. Now to make the design more statistically valid, we are going to have something called these two levels, we are going to name them as high level, not denoted by H or +1, and another one is low level denoted as L or -1. These are symbolic. +1 and -1 are symbolic. LH are symbolic representation. You can either represent with H or +1, you can represent it as L or -1. The meaning of two level is, just for example, you take temperature as the factor. Factor is temperature. The two levels of that are 40° and 20°. Of that, 40° is the higher level, so you can denote it as H or +1 level. 20° is the lower value, so you can represent it as L or -1. So the variation is from -1 to +1. In actual values it is 20°C and 40°C. Similarly, any variable you take, you can represent it as either -1 or +1. Its actual value, this is called as coded value. The actual value will be its original value as per the requirement, like temperature 20, 40, pH if you take 4 and 6, it is -1 +1. So when you write it in a coded format, it will be either -1 or +1. Now sometimes in some of the experimental designs you may also see that center points of the design is also added to the experimental combinations. Center point in the sense the middle of this +1 and -1, the average of these two is 0. That is the middle point. If you take 40°C temperature is the factor, 40° and 20°, the middle value is 30°. So 30°C becomes the center point. Now sometimes it may be added for the experimental combination in order to identify something called as lack of fit analysis. So whenever you want like to perform a lack of fit analysis, it is advised that you take a center point, set of center points. Center point is nothing but all factors 0 values will be considered. We'll see that in the table later. Now that is denoted as M or 0. Here it is +1, -1, H and L. The middle points are represented as either M or 0. Numerically 0, coded value M. All these experimental combinations, that is full factorial design or fraction factorial otherwise, they follow something called as orthogonal experimental design. Now let us see what is that orthogonal design using a tabular explanation. Experimental combination, let us select it. Now orthogonal experiment is nothing but a scalar product of the columns of any two factor is 0. Scalar product, right? So let us see what it is. Let us take one example here. So look at this box. So let me take three variables, x1, x2, x3. Fertilizer combination, I am taking A and B, two different types of fertilizer, A and B. And let me take it as another factor, location. I'm using the fertilizer at two different locations, location 1, location 2. Maybe like my place and your place possibly. Location 1, location 2. Factor 3 is x3 is a photo period, the daylight, because to grow the plant, to for germination we require photoperiod combinations, that is short day and long day, two types of the photoperiod sunlight we have taken. Now if I take that particular combination, you can see your experiment. First experiment I have coded it as x1 x2 x3 factor levels, x1 x2 x3. I'm taking -1 -1 -1, all -1. What is the meaning of that? I have taken -1 a, -1 for x2 is 1, the lower value, short day for the x3. The response is germination rate. So I'm going to perform the experiment at all -1 low levels, L, 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 and I'm going to record the germination rate as the response. Germination rate is the response variable here. Likewise, I can have some set of experiment. How many experiments do I get? It depends upon the number of factor goes to the exponential value of levels that I'm using. So that is why it is called as 2k design. 2k design in the sense 2 stands for number of levels used, k stands for number of factor. So in this case I have used 3 factor, and each factor is having 2 levels, that is -1 plus 1 -1 plus 1 -1 plus 1. So 2 power k, 2 power 3 factors, so it is 8. So number of experiment involved here is 8 experiment. Now this is the experimental combination. This is the experimental combination. So in this experimental combination 8 experiments are written in particular order. How do we write it? Remember, x1 x2 x3, we are not differentiating them as primary and nuisance factor. All are equivalent. Fertilizer, location, photoperiod, all are equivalent factors. So the first factor I am writing with -1 first, +1 next. How much I have to write? 50% I'll write -1, next 50% I'll write +1. The next combination x2, when I take, it will be half of this. Here I have written 4 combination of -1, 4 -1s I have written continuous. Half of that, 50% of that will be -1, 50% of that will be +1. Then next half of plus will be -1 and +1. Then for writing x3, so I have taken 2 minuses here, so 1 will be minus, half of that, half of these is -1 +1. So alternatively it will go on minus plus minus plus. Remember, we start with minus, then we go for the plus. This is called as a standard order. Standard order in the sense starts with the minus, then goes with the plus. Now just add all these values, just sum up the values. You can pause the video, you can sum this value, you can sum this particular column, even these columns also you can sum it up and come back. Pause the video and watch. Alright, if you have observed it carefully, the sum is 0 throughout all the columns. Sum is 0. That is the meaning of this. Scalar product of the columns of any two factors is 0. So if you take this sum, it will be 0. Individual primary factors, if you take, it is 0. If you take a product of 2, x1 into x2, here x1 into x2, -1 into -1 +1, like that you take a product of that, scalar product of that, you take it and sum it, it will be 0. So individually their sum is 0, the experimental combination, and their product combination is also 0. Here x1 x2 x3 is nothing but product of 3 things. Now this is called as orthogonal design. Orthogonal design ensures that the entire sum is 0 for a particular column. For the analysis part, we have two types. One is called as means model, another called as effects model. So this goes by ANOVA. Means model goes by ANOVA. Here what we do is we get one equation, means equation. It is y, individual values y. We write it in terms of gross mean, or you can say overall mean, plus the way we have done it earlier for all other designs, average what you call it as mu. Then individual factor, affected by individual factor x1 x2 x3, they are called as primary factor. Then interaction between the two factors x1 and x2, they interact, x1 and x3 interact, x2 and x3 interact, or all three may interact together. So this is called as interaction effect. Now that interaction could be, we call it as synergistic and antagonistic or neutral interaction. Synergistic in the sense, first of all, these parameters x1 and x2 and x3, they may affect individually, or there may be an effect, combined effect of x1 and x2. x1 and x2 put together may have positive effect on the yield. it may have a negative effect on the yield, or it may have neutral effect on the output yi. That is called as synergistic, antagonistic, or neutral interaction. It may have positive effect, synergistic, it may have negative effect, antagonistic, or it may have neutral interaction. That also we'll be able to identify using this means model. Whereas the third one, x1, x2, x3, all put together, it may have some effect. Usually we go for main effect, that is x1, x2, x3, we take it, or interaction, that is binary interaction, x1 and x2, x1 and x3, x2 and x3. Tertiary interaction we generally do not look into, we just neglect it. So we will use methods of estimates or mean of effects, which we'll see it in the later in the numerical how it is done. These calculations are done. So we get this equation first, then we test it for ANOVA. So we test it for a t-test or f-test. The coefficient are tested for t-test. Overall equation is tested using ANOVA. And what we do is those parameters, for example x1 and x3, if it is insignificant, x1 and x3, that term if it is insignificant, we eliminate that term from the equation. We rewrite the equation without those terms. Such kind of equation, when we rewrite them, that's called as reduced fit model. For example, here I have written x1, x2, x1 and x2. So in this case what I have done, I assume that x3 is completely x3 and its interactions all are insignificant. In that case you will get an equation like this. So x1, x2, x1 into x2, right? So equation contains only these terms. This is called as a reduced fit model. So the means model is analyzed using means effect, whether the main effects are significant, same ANOVA, multiple ANOVA will be using with respect to error, interaction for 2 factor, for 3 factor. So the way what you have done, analyzed earlier, you will get into. So how many terms are there in the main factor? That many degrees of freedom, -1 degrees of freedom. So if you take mains effect as three terms are involved, x1, x2, x3, 3 terms are involved here, the degrees of freedom will be 3 minus 1, 2. Interaction effect, if there are 3 terms involved, degrees of freedom will be 3 minus 1, 2. If there is only 2 terms, sorry, it's not -1, it's equal term. If there are 3 terms involved here, you will have 3 degrees of freedom. If there are 2 interaction terms, you will have 2 degrees of freedom. If there is only one term, the number of terms involved in that equation will be equal to degrees of freedom. Total will be the total number of experiment. Total minus these sums will be equal to error degrees of freedom. So ANOVA tells us whether these effects, interaction effects, are significant or not. Should we omit out? Should we retain it for the reduced fit model? Another way we analyze, remember these are complementary to each other, means effect and means model and effects model, both are complementary to each other, both are required. In the effects model we have again 2 types, main interaction and main and interaction effects, main effects and interaction effects. So how do we calculate this? We'll have to calculate the average response at high level and average response at the low level, take the difference between two. Whichever variable you want to analyze, effect of each variable you want to analyze, the average of that particular variable, average of that particular variable at high condition, at low condition, you have to select. So there were 8 experiments. Let me go back to the table. So you have performed the experiment and obtained the yield, output response. Now let me say that I want to identify the effect because of x1. What I will do is I'll multiply the sign with the output and just sum it. Just take the average of it. That is all minuses here. I'll take the average. The first 4 values I'll take the average. That is the negative side. For high side, there are 4 values. I'll take the average. So sum it up and divide it by 4. Sum it up, divided by 4. So that will be the average for the high, average for the low. Now take the difference between the two. Difference of highs, difference of lows. That will be effect because of x1. Similarly for x2. So you may find it a little difficult because intermittently you have plus minus, you have to sort it out. The easiest way is multiply the sign with the value and sum it divided by the number of plus or number of minus, any one, both are equal, both should be equal. Otherwise you can say the number of experiment divided by 2. For example, -1 into y, -1 into y, +1 into y. Like that you just take the sum product multiply it and sum it up. So sum that value divided by 4. Why 4? Total number of experiment is 8 and the minuses are 4 and pluses are 4. So that is total number divided by 2. That will be in the denominator. What I have done? Sign multiplied by the response variable. Sum product I have done it divided by 4, half of the experiment. So that will be the effect because of x2. Similarly x3 or interaction term also, if you want to see, same way, the sign multiplied by the response variable. So that is how we get it. So similarly for x1 and x2 also you can get the result. Now the effect can be positive or negative. Synergistic is positive, antagonistic is negative, and neutral is 0. So you can plot it as main effect plot or interaction plot. Main effect plot and interaction plot. If you look at the main effects plot, fertilizer and location, I have taken x1 and x2 as the important factor. So you can see that at A, how it is written, it is only two dots are there. This is average at the low, this is the average at high. So you have seen two terms here, average at high, average at low. This value minus this value, these two values are plotted on the graph. The average of four values, that is low, average of high. This is average of low, average of low. Remember that average could be high or low at any values. Numerically it may be greater or smaller, doesn't matter. Now in this case, numerically the low is lower, numerically it is lower than the high position. Here it is reverse. Numerically the average is higher at higher low point, this is the low point, and numerically it is lower. So in this case the response in this is negative slope, you get it. Here you get a positive slope. So this dotted line, gray line, is the grand mean mu. So we can identify whether the mean effect is large or small, or is it positively affecting, negatively affecting, you can identify. But it may or may not be statistically significant. If you want to see whether it is statistically significant, go to the ANOVA table and verify whether it is significant. Similarly, another way you can plot it, all in one graph. There it was individual graph, here it is all in one graph. For x1 plus minus, x2 plus minus, x3 plus minus. If I ask you the simple question, pause the video and watch it again, which is having the maximum main effect? Pause the video, think. Alright, you might have thought that uh, any one of this you could have thought x1, x2, x3. If you observe it carefully, the slope of x1 is large compared to the other two. So x1 is having larger effect on the outcome response variable, whereas x2 is having the lowest. This is having a lower value, high at higher value. That means the effect is positive. It is having a positive slope, effect is positive. Sorry, it's negative, it's written the reverse way, plus and minus, high over here, negative over here. So you need to be carefully observing these things also. Interaction effect, the other way, effect plot, right, second one. So here we'll be writing for A, we'll be taking the lower value, that is here is different cases taken, diet of A type and B type, and exercise with the cardio and the weights type, two different, you can say that case 1, case 2. So that is low level and high level. Here it is low level, high level. Interaction we are plotting for A and B. If you take this particular point, what it represents, it is a combination of A low value and since it is black color dot here, this is cardio. So cardio A, and here in this case it is B type cardio, B type diet with the cardio. This one represents B type diet with the weights. This represents A type diet with the weights. So there may be a set of experiment. For this particular combination you have to take the mean here. So when you combine them you get like this. It shows that there is a crossing over at some point. That means there is some possible interaction between the two. There is a possible interaction between the two. So if there is an interaction, the combination of things may have some effect. Need not be individual, it could be combination. If there was no interaction effect, it would have been parallel. It would have been a parallel line if there was no effect by the interaction. The other way, this is only one graph it is shown here. There could be multiple combinations, something like this. Here it shows that there is one interaction at this particular level. Here there is some possible interaction at the low level. Here it shows almost parallel, there may not be interaction. Now how do I identify what is what? All these are A's, all these are C's. Vertically this is C, vertically if I look at D, so the value here is 50, 75, 100. Now how do I identify A? The value of A here it is given, black is -1, red is +1, so red is +1, black is -1. For C this is -1 level, this is +1 level, so I should make a combination. There are 4 points, I have to hold at one particular point and find out what is it. How? At this particular point, just an example I'm giving you here. At this point C is -1, C is -1 here, it is a red square, so A is +1. This is the combination of C as +1, C as -1, A as +1. Similarly this black one, this point here, C is +1, black, A is minus, black circle, A is -1. So this graph A versus C, this graph A versus D, and this graph C versus D. So the values what is written here, it is a response variable, 50, 75, 100, 50, 75, 100 is a response variable. For C, for this particular graph, C versus D. For D, here it is -1 +1. This line for +1, this line for -1 of D. Both the graphs, this is -1 of D, this is +1 of D. In this graph here, like this, C is red color +1, C is black color -1. Whereas here if you look at it, A is black -1, black -1, black -1, red +1, red +1 here, red +1 here. So you'll have to combine. This is another way of representing the interaction plot. So in this topic, what did we see? We have seen the full factorial design. 2 power k is the number of experimental sample size. So experimental combinations follow orthogonal experimental design. So you should be in a position to write an orthogonal experiment combination, something like this, given minus plus. First you find out how many number of experiments are required, minus plus, then go on reducing it. For analysis we have means and effects model. In the means model we write the equation and we do the ANOVA. Effects model we write the main interaction and interaction plots. We plot it and identify whether they are interacting or not. That's the end of this video lecture. Thank you.